All of a sudden, then I hear, are they shooting at us or something like that? And the next thing I hear, bam, 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 bam. And actually I didn't see anything. I was just hearing something. And then when the shooting sort of subsided, well, it did subside, somebody yelled out, does anybody still have any ammo? Well, I did, because I didn't shoot. And so then they called me up, and I think you went in, did you not tell me? Did you go into the house and extract them?
Yeah, I went in the house.
And they extracted the Panthers, and there's 4 of them. And I'd heard one of them had been hit, but I didn't know which one it was. And we put them on the ground, on the hole of the street, it was dirt. And we put them down, and I'm standing over them with a shotgun. So actually, that's basically it. I was just a target. I didn't do anything.
Okay, so Tommy.
Yes.
Yeah. So he's frozen. I mean,
Yeah,
he can't see
he's fogged up. As
Yeah.
he usually is.
So he's out of commission. So what were you doing?
Well, what happened was after Lieutenant Cook was shot, then the order was given to fire, and I fired around the bottom window, and was immediately struck. A projectile hit Officer McDowell's name tag on his leather jacket. It was pushed out a little bit and struck me in the chest, knocked me about 3 feet down. He reached down immediately, grabbed me right here and shook me, said, "You okay?" I said, "I don't know, yes," or something like that. And immediately, as you think real quick, I thought, well, the shot must come out of that top window right up there. So I said, I'm going to shoot beside the window, into the window. And it's just like instantaneously almost come up, boom, 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 into my rounds into there. And then somebody said they're giving up or something of this nature. And then what Jim said, people came out, laid down. I went into the house, and it was eerie. It was smoky, naturally. And there was a cardboard or mannequin type structure and a police uniform there with a pig face and a target on its heart right there. And I saw the eggs, and there's a solution in there in the fireplace that I assumed was to keep tear gas up, and there's all kinds of literature in there, and I could see why some of the parents would have been frightened in that community to wonder what was going on in there.
How did it make you feel looking at, here you are a policeman and you see this pig face on the
Well, I looked at it and I came back, and it's more what I reflected on it after I left. After visiting Lieutenant Cook in the hospital, and he told me about his death experience and coming back, which if you want to speak about that, we can.
Yeah, I did.
But my immediate thought after it, I did some, my wife and I think shortly after that went to Myrtle Beach and spent a few days. And I told her one morning, I got up, I said, let's stay a couple more days. She said, why? I said, there's something that I need to do, and I don't know what it is. And it came to me at some point in time that here was some people, some kids, if you will, 16 years old, and they were, in there. They're like most other kids in this world. They want recognition. They want to be involved. They want to be inclusive, and they want to achieve. And I recognize that it took 3 things to be a success in this world. It takes ability, it takes desire, and it takes opportunity. These guys had the ability to achieve the things they wanted to do in there, even though I thought it might be misguided of the way they were trying to achieve it. Now, their goal was probably good. Mm-hmm. They want to change the world to a good, but they were going about it in the wrong way. They had the ability to put up sandbags. They had the ability to market to the kids to come in and have food and those kind of things, but they didn't really, in their minds, have the opportunity to achieve what they really wanted to do in the right way. And I thought, what can I do about that? And I started to implement the Police Athletic League with the help of Chief Pritchett at that time, and worked with kids, set up a referral system out of the court system, and worked with them with athletics. Before you can teach anybody anything, you have to get their attention. Felt like the best way to reach attention was athletics. And so therefore, I implemented that Police Athletic League with adding funds to the city, and I tapped some federal funds to help us with that. And then later, when I left the police department, I wanted to ratchet it up a notch and do something even greater for the kids, and that is give them that opportunity if they got the desire and the ability. and opportunity to reach out there and gain recognition in the right way and be inclusive. And that was through getting the kids on TV with their athletic programs. Also, so I was able to get on the TCT network out of Greensboro, Channel 61 for a while. And then later the government channel in Thomasville, Channel 61, Tom Warner. We put on area high school games, little league games. We even do, I did a feature with the, I think the South, maybe the nation's only Memorial Day parade with Jim Robbins just recently.
So in other words, this has really had a major effect in your life. Larry, would you have ever dreamed that back then, because of what happened, that it would affect so many lives, that for the good?
Would I have ever dreamed that it would have?
Right. When you were 16 years old, did you have the foresight to see, and I'm sure you didn't, but even to imagine that in the future it was going to have the ability to affect so many lives, that your life would be so affected by this?
At that time, I couldn't see that. Actually, on that day, all I could see was death. Being real, you know.
And you know, I was, it just came to me too, was your perspective inside.
Okay.
You were kind of situated so that you could have done some real damage.
Right.
It's major. You know, I guess as we get knocked down towards the end of this show, there's a scripture that comes to my mind that we're probably, even the audience out here watching is probably very familiar with. It says, all things work together for good to those who love God. And how does it work together for your good?
Oh, I tell you, even though I've gone through a lot of changes, having to go to prison, experience more oppression, misunderstandings and whatnot, but it's a long story, but to cut it short, is that it took my being involved in a revolutionary organization, in a militant organization, to be able to arrive at truth, because I had a measure of truth then, you know, but I was searching for the truth, which I found in Jesus Christ. He said, there is a way that seems right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. And he also said, there, you know, the fool has said in his heart, there is no God. And at that time, I didn't believe in God. I thought he was just a crutch to lean on in hard times. But coming up to now, had I not gone through those experiences, and maybe we'll get a chance to share more later, had I not gone through those experiences, I don't believe that I would know that there is, as we say together, a soul has no color. You know,
That's right.
when
Has no
God
color.
sees us, he looks at the heart. And I used to say in closing, Huey P. Newton, the founder of the Black Panther Party, I used to say he was the baddest man that ever walked the face of the earth. I used to say that he was the greatest revolutionary that ever lived, until I met Jesus, because he is the greatest revolutionary. He changes an individual from the inside out, from the heart.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this, the kid that we saw on the 10th of February 1971, named Larry Medley, wasn't the real Larry Medley. This one is.
You know, you may have the